helping private businesses figure out how to regulate it. And from there, I got involved in how do we help the minority community, this community that we're developing programs for and devoting our attention to. How do we help them into the industry?
And when you started looking at it from that perspective, some things were glaringly, jumped out at you, did it not?
Absolutely. They're still glaring at me on a day-to-day basis. So, it's been kind of an issue that we've seen since the development of recreational cannabis in California. When you look at New York, as you mentioned, where I'm also barred and licensed to practice, 50% of the licenses are supposed to go to these social equity applicants. In the legislation, in the drafted law that was written, it specifically says that to remedy the harms of the past, we've got to address these issues for the minority communities now. So it's something that is definitely getting the requisite attention, but the proof is always in the pudding, right? We have to see the rubber meet the road and see if there really are going to be benefits to these communities.
Well, let's jump aboard and take New York, for example. You just brought them up. So now, is New York working towards trying to ensure equitable participation?
Absolutely. And the concept is good. Let me say overall, if there was one takeaway I had, I think that the concept of social equity in the cannabis space or any other industries for that matter is a very valuable and a very positive step. But it's always going to, the devil's in the details, as they say. And we have to figure out how we can actually empower these people. By these people, I mean these minority cannabis operators to be successful. And the other end of that token is you still have to balance it with just good old fashioned business, right? This is not a handout. You can't necessarily, how do you get venture capitalists to come in and give money and then not expect a relative rate on return on investment?
But then again, in some ways, in some of the programs in Florida and other places, they have written in their legislation equity programs, but that just means find a Black person, put their name on the application when you submit it in, and we'll give them 5% and see you later. We'll take care of this, right? So how do we actually approach this from the standpoint of understanding that equity in itself is good for the business?